I don't understand when it became okay to generalize about racial groups.
Today, we're analyzing this viral debate between Tucker Carlson and law professor Iko Yanka.
When white people don't have jobs, we get a presidential campaign about the forgotten class.
It's
Clearly a divisive topic. Arguments over race usually end with neither side changing the other's mind. But today, we're taking a closer look to see if this debate can pass what we call the breakfast at Tiffany's test. In other words, is there anything at all these ideological opposites can agree on?
I think it's wrong.
I just entirely deny that.
First, here's a point-by-point summary of the debate. Tucker takes issue with an op-ed that Iko wrote called, "Can My Children Be Friends with White People?" The link to the op-ed is in the bio.
And I grew up in a world where overt expressions of that were not acceptable. You weren't allowed to generalize on the basis of race because the assumption was each person is an individual.
As his main claim, Tucker suggests there is an assumed rule that it is never okay to generalize based on race.
Some people have the luxury to be raised only being told to look at individual people. It should be no surprise to you that black people, in particular black men, have been taught forever that they have to be careful how they behave around white people. That the way they behave will be interpreted differently, that when they misbehave, it'll be punished differently, that if they laugh too loud, if they walk into a nice store.
Iko disputes that this rule should be absolute and provides examples where exceptions should apply.
In a lot of places in this country, the main threat that African Americans face is not from white people, as you perfectly well know.
Tucker uses a statistic to try to invalidate Iko's example, maintaining his claim that there are no exceptions to the rule.
While it's true that, of course, people of color face threats from other people of color, it's also true that white people face the overwhelming threat from white people. That is,
right.
But you never hear anybody say the main threat facing white people is white people.
At this point, the debate is still on topic.
The point I'm making is that you should never generalize about people on the basis of their skin color.
Notice that Tucker does not respond to Iko's latest point, but instead reiterates his own main point, taking this debate in a big circle.
The idea that you could understand a person's motive merely by knowing his race dehumanizes that person. It's the definition of racism.
For the remainder of the debate, Tucker restates his premise without any consideration of Iko's point. Iko evades several of Tucker's questions, and the debate ultimately derails. It seems pretty impossible that we're going to find any consensus here. Should we conclude that this debate does not pass the breakfast at Tiffany's test? Maybe. But before we declare it a total fail, let's back up and make sure we didn't miss anything. Okay.
So if I know that in my school there's a tense point because everybody hates the Filipino student.
Notice here that it seems that they kind of actually agree on something.
When the Filipino student walks into my area, I'm going to make sure that he knows I'm an ally. I'm not going to disappear when he's in danger. You can't have it both ways.
But I agree with you.
As minuscule as this agreement is, it's actually enough to pass our test. We have a winner. We found one thing that these two both kind of agree on. Now imagine if these two total opposites could sit down, take a break from debating in circles, and do some good like, oh, I don't know, fight bullies? What a powerful message that would send if Tucker Carlson and Professor Yanka joined forces to actually make a difference on this issue. Maybe if this channel gets big enough, we could invite them on here for a round 2. And you're probably thinking what I'm saying sounds overly optimistic and unrealistic. Well, yeah, that's kind of the point of this test. And it's kind of the point of the cheesy 90s song it's named after. We'll look for more debaters who have nothing in common, and the world has come between them, and their debates are falling apart. Then I'll say, what about the breakfast at Tiffany's test? Before we go, I do have to give credit to the fabulous judge who invented this test in the first place. Her name is Judge Mental, and she's fabulous. If you want to see us analyze more debates from across the internet, make sure to like and subscribe to Judge Mental's channel. If you have a debate you'd like to suggest, drop a link in the comments.